When it comes to intuition, we often have this vague, amorphous sense of what we're actually talking about. I often find this with my self-integration coaching clients who come into our work together, often saying that they're craving a deeper sense of connection to their intuition. But as we delve in and start to explore together, often things start to feel a little murky about what they actually mean, how they can actually do it. So, what is intuition anyway? I love this definition from Shakti, Gawain, whose book Developing Intuition offers what I think is a lovely introduction to the topic, and I think it really sums up the essence. Intuition is an inner sense that tells us what feels right and true for us at any given moment. Or as the intuitive and author of The Intuitive Way, Peirce, even more succinctly puts it, the intuitive process is about direct knowing, or effortless perception. Peirce goes on to say, intuitive knowing is direct knowing, knowing without time-consuming, linear reasoning, knowing without external proof. She writes, intuition is direct, unbiased perception that comes from unifying the fragmented parts of your awareness, body, emotions, mind, and spirit. And it arises when you're focused in the present moment, alert but not tense, connected with your body and feelings, not using willpower, and feeling simple and open. So while it can get convoluted by these overthinking minds of ours, intuition is actually quite pure and simple in this way. Intuition has a quiet, settled quality to it. And when we connect to an intuitive sense of what feels true or right for us in a given moment, or as our next step forward on our path, it feels just congruent in a simple, energetically aligned way. Intuition is an energetic connection source that helps us access a sense of what our soul, our spirit, our core capital S self was really put on this planet to express or receive or manifest. And intuition is always going to nudge us in the direction of our individual highest good, but in a way that also supports the greatest good for all involved, for all beings. So cultivating a connection with your intuition is a really beautiful service actually to offer the world. The more intuitively connected you are, the more authentically embodied you are as you walk around the planet, the more it serves all of us in humanity. And presence and connection lead to increased intuition. So the great news is all of the mindfulness, self-attunement, self-compassion, interoceptive awareness, and other somatic and embodiment practices that we walk through together in this space are all ways that you're already dialing up your intuitive superpower. Intuitive connection really starts with slowing down, quieting down, and starting to tune into what's happening within the felt sensory experience in your body in this moment. Because here's the thing, one core tenet to keep in mind when it comes to nurturing your intuition. We only have access to our intuition through the felt sense in the body. We can't think our way into intuitive knowing. We can only feel our way in. Intuition shows up as an energetic sense in the body, not as a thought in the mind, which means that any practice that helps you connect to your body or your senses, helps you get present in this actual moment through the senses in the body, rather than getting lost in the mind, will help increase your intuitive connection organically. Also, I'd like to propose that intuition isn't really about a sixth sense, as it's sometimes referred to. It's really a byproduct of you tuning in more subtly and with greater and greater nuanced awareness to the five senses you already have, felt through the body. Again, intuition is an embodied sense. We can't think our way into intuitive wisdom. We can only notice and sense and feel our way in. So on the practical front, some ways you can amplify access to your intuition. Slow down. We can't notice our intuitive felt sense when we're rushing through our days. It's really just not possible. Allow space. We can't connect to our intuitive sense when our days are overstuffed with back-to-back doings. Next, create space for silence and minimal external inputs where possible. We can't access our intuition when there's constant external chatter, earbuds in, crowding out intuition's quiet, concise messages. Next, just connect to your body and senses. Again, we can't access our intuition anywhere but through the felt sense in the body. Next, you're going to keep practicing dropping down out of your head and into the sensations you notice in the body through practices maybe like meditation, which can help you connect to that felt sense and sensual sensory sense in the body, but also physical movement absolutely can do that for us in ways that feel alive and juicy to you. Remember, intuition does not happen in the mind. It can only be registered through the body. Yes, I'll say it again. So next, you're going to play with tuning into subtle energetic nudges throughout your days and not expecting dramatic fireworks with this. Intuition most often shows up as just subtle vibrations in the body or as a simple, gentle nudge toward just one next step forward. So keep your awareness finely tuned in for subtly resonant energetic pulsations, expansions, tinglings, warmth, or nudges you notice through your body during your average day. And notice also what it feels like when there's an energetic sense of yes in your body versus a sense of no, a contraction around no when you're making decisions. Consult with your body around small decisions in your days. What do I want to eat for dinner? Do I have time to get out for a walk? What am I most needing right now? This practice will build the muscle and attunement to tune into bigger intuitive hits over time, to notice more. Next, notice synchronicities in your days. Synchronicities are like little coincidences that feel significant and that they reflect back to you externally something that you've been sensing internally, or they clarify something you've been sorting through internally in an affirming way. It's like a breadcrumb from the universe, encouraging you to keep moving forward, giving you feedback that you're on an aligned path forward. So take note of those synchronicities. And on a similar note, play with following the energy in your days. Get in the practice and habit of noticing energy within your body and allowing that energy to guide you through your days. So you can kind of play with it experimentally, like the energy is guiding your body like it's on a Ouija board. Intuition works on this energetic, not cognitive level. So this one is a potent intuition enhancer to play with, allowing your being to be moved by energy. That's a way of tapping into intuition as well. Next, you can really get out into nature. The natural world is such a powerful way, and such a simple way really, to unlock our senses, which are the gateway to the present moment in the body, which is where, yes, the only place where intuition comes alive, at the intersection of this wide, expansive universe out there beyond our small self, and those cosmic cues are felt through the senses and energy in the vessel of your actual physical body. Next, tune into anything that feels interesting or rings with truth in your dreams. You might keep a dream journal beside your bed. Remember, your consciousness is running 24/7, continuously, whether you're awake to notice it or not. Next, tune into what feels just true in your days, as felt through your body. Experiment with noticing how that is for you. Next, ask, what am I needing to know or remember right now? And then just tune into your body and energy during your days and notice any subtle clues or cues you notice pop to the surface. Next, play with keeping an intuition log. Start to make a conscious connection between moments when your intuition actually already is pointing you in aligned directions forward in your life. The more you tune in and notice those micro moments of intuitive alignment, the more they grow. Next, put out the request for insight, alignment, and support. May I feel connected to my intuitive wisdom today. May it point my soul on a path forward that's for my highest good and for the highest good of all beings. Next, keep it light. Intuition is a really light, buoyant energy. It has a playful and spontaneous quality to it. It's the opposite of rigid, heavy, fixed energy. So the more you can bring a light touch, a playful attitude toward tuning into your intuitive sense as you go through your days, the better. The more it'll open up the channels. And finally, shift into receiving mode. We don't access intuition by trying harder or doing more. We connect to this natural, organic wisdom that flows through the universe, including through that vessel of your body, through each of our bodies, by simply noticing with finer and finer tuned awareness The subtle energy is moving through that body. So tune into those subtle messages and nudges throughout your day, to the quiet energetic resonances. Intuition is about noticing and receiving, about being and allowing. It is not about pushing or overdoing or forcing intellectual solutions. It's not about grasping at certainty or rushing the process, as we're so good at doing in general. Living an intuitively guided, authentically aligned life requires a lot of trust, actually. Faith that even when our conscious, logical mind doesn't really understand, that we can follow and trust our energetic and felt sense in our being about where our soul is really meant to head next, about where life is wanting to draw us forward. And you frequently hear me talk about coming home to your core self, to your capital S self in this space. And the great news is all of the presence cultivating practices of mindfulness, all the self-connection practices like self-compassion, the somatic awareness cultivation and nervous system flexibility and regulation practices, these are all ways to connect to this core of ourselves, which resides at the intersection between our sense of small individual self as housed through the vessels of these individual physical bodies and the cosmos at large. Intuition really lights up the intersection of the collective, the universal, and the relative, the personal. Our intuition is a way for us to feel the organic essence of the universe coursing through these bodies of ours in the form of life force, of energy pulsing through. So we actually don't have to cultivate a sixth sense to access our intuition. Like I said before, intuition is felt through the five senses we already have. It's more about fine-tuning our awareness at subtler and subtler, more and more deeply attuned layers of these five senses registered through these bodies in just an average moment in our day. And know this, intuition will never guilt or shame you or force you to do something that doesn't feel right for you or that you're not ready for. That's not how intuition works. So if you're feeling rushed or forced into something, you might check in with what a fearful part of yourself might be worried about with genuine curiosity and care. There's likely a part trying vigilantly and lovingly to protect you from something that's worth some tender exploration. And one more clarification here. We're not proposing that intuition always feels good. The intuitive sense you clearly feel may afterwards spark a lot of worried or analytical or planning thoughts or resistant energy. What I'm proposing is that when we really quiet the external and mental chatter enough to tune in and feel and listen, the intuitive sense of what feels just right or true in this moment tends to feel clear in a very simple way. That does not mean that all parts of you will necessarily love or be on board with the direction your intuition is nudging you. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that path forward will feel easy or uncomplicated. But the intuitive sense is available in a simple way in the moment nonetheless. So this week you might just gently, curiously tune into what you're noticing inside your body from moment to moment, day to day, through the senses, through energetic vibrations and pulsations, inner nudges and gentle whispers. Remember, intuition operates quietly and concisely. So you'll really need to slow down, quiet down, and pay some close attention to notice the messages that intuition is trying to support you with. But trust that you have vastly more access to your intuitive superpower than you've likely been giving yourself credit for. It just takes some practice, so play with it, slow down a little bit, tune in a bit, get curious, and see what you notice for yourself. And keep me posted. As always, I'd love to hear what's showing up for you in the comments below.